when we shifted those values and we stopped realizing that these people actually have the most value to society, in society, we watched our social decline begin. And we have essentially been within a managed social decline for the last 60 years, in my opinion.
I would add to that, anyone has to take a sociology class or anthropology class here? Yeah, have a kid. You'll learn a lot more about human beings than anything a textbook can teach you.
100%.
Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As this on the page, we're going to be checking out how to have real value in society. Charles Kirk and Candace Owens. So without further ado, let's get this out.
Hi. So my question is, you guys were discussing blue-collar workers and how they have a lot of wisdom, which I certainly agree with. I'm sure they do have a lot of wisdom. However, your guys' perspective more so sounded like they essentially have more wisdom or more knowledge than someone in academia. And my question is, why do you guys believe that blue-collar workers and people in these laborious jobs have more knowledge than someone in academia? And is that rooted, or how is that factually rooted?
So I guess I would say, rather than saying wisdom, I would say that they have more real-world value and currency than somebody who's writing papers trying to transform the world from a classroom. And I genuinely believe that. I believe that there is more value in learning to work with your hands. There's more value in learning how to raise productive human beings. I hate the fact that women are being sold a bill of lies and being told that we should be competing with men and wanting to run executives of, Fortune 500 companies. I believe that we absolutely flourish in our feminine roles, and that the toughest job in the world is being a stay-at-home mom and raising good children. So to me, when we shifted those values and we stopped realizing that these people actually have the most value to society, in society, we watched our social decline begin. And we have essentially been within a managed social decline for the last 60 years, in my opinion.
I would add to that, anyone has to take a sociology class or anthropology class here? Yeah, have a kid. You'll learn a lot more about human beings than anything a textbook can teach you.
100% true. Experience always is going to override what you can learn in a book.
By the way, I would say you conflated two words, knowledge and wisdom. They're not the same thing. There's a lot of knowledge here at Ohio State University. There's not a lick of wisdom in most of these classrooms. And what is the difference? Very simple. Knowledge is practical. How do you develop a medication? How do you navigate an airplane?
Build a house.
Build a house. That's fine. Knowledge is important. Wisdom tells you whether or not you should do it. Wisdom is eternal. Wisdom does not change. Wisdom is the knowledge of things that will be true 200 years from now, and they were true 500 years before, because you're dealing with the same raw material. Human beings do not change. We are broken from nature, and it takes effort to create good people.
Did you take effort to create good people? That's not. This is nice. Like, I really don't have much to say, but I just talked about what Candace Owens said for women. Like, as I said, teaching women that we should not stay at home, we should go out. I'm not saying working is bad, it's every single. We should start going out and work and be more like men and get degree and stuff, which is good for you to get your own self-image and for you to be independent and not be called someone's mom for the rest of your life. Like, children, like, people pay less attention to their kids because the father is out, the mother is out, so everyone is working. So, like, literally, majority of the children just grow up on their own. So you didn't have, like, who is nurturing you and who is teaching you the right way. I'm not saying that mothers that work or fathers that work, they didn't have time for their children. I'm just saying majority of the statistics, you see that a lot of children, especially when they're only children, like, oh, they're just playing their own, their parents are not really around, this, that, and that. So, like, when you look at the statistics of it, of women going to work and stuff like that, they produce us. Like, we are the generation of those working class mothers, we are the generation of those things that. That's when you start seeing girls having kids out of wedlock. You see men saying that they don't want to get married, they just want to have baby mamas and stuff. So, we're the generations of those things that you're used to not having anyone around. You're used to just being alone. You're used to having dinner by yourself. So, like, you just want to continue that kind of lifestyle. Yeah. So I don't want anyone that will disturb me. Maybe you have parents that they just come back home and fight. So you're like, okay, I don't want a woman that will disturb me. I don't want a man that will control me. So I just want to have my kids and that is it. So like because of the kind of upbringing, they didn't, because a lot of people, a lot of families, they didn't have this. We all eat in the same table at dinner. Sometimes you can eat your dinner before your parents will come, but sometimes your mom will just pick at dinner and go to the room. Your father will be upset and stay in the parlor. Like you don't have this union, and they end up producing children like us.
Yeah, thinking that they can do all things.
Yeah, you end up producing people that just want to be alone, independent people. They don't want anyone around them. They don't want to share that
Or
space.
they'll be like,
they don't want to
me
love.
being around you is nothing. I will
Yeah.
just see all misunderstanding.
Just seeing people like
So
this generation is just very cold.
yeah, that is very good.
Very, very cold. You see people that they don't want to have feelings. They don't want to share that space. They don't want to. No offense to people that don't want to have kids too. They don't want to have kids because they don't want to have someone else that will trouble their life. So this is a generation of people they end up creating, which I'm part of them too. Because I can't deny that I'm not part of this generation. I'm part of this generation. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I shouldn't fall in love. I shouldn't do this because I don't want someone to interfere in my own personal space. We just grew up in an environment where we are so self-obsessed, which is a good thing sometimes too, and so self-absorbed that we don't want to share our space, or we just want to be selfish. We just want to keep everything to ourselves. I don't know if you understand. So what do you think?
Actually, just as you just said, you said it all because people are already growing up now in this 21st century. They're just like that kind of thing on my own,
Yeah.
self control, all this kind of. They don't want to be controlling them. Go do this, go do that. They want to know. Sometimes what I actually learn in our family is that it's the family you grow up with that the kind of person you are. If you grow up in a family that your parents like you doing things together as siblings, do things together, work together, go to school together, come back together, wear your sibling clothes, wear your siblings, anything that buy in the house, nobody have it. Everybody is your own, everybody is your turn. Nobody should be like, it's my own, it's not my own, keep my bag. That is not how it's supposed to be. Train your children to be that. Imagine that one of the siblings is out for school. They'll be like, no, we can't eat because junior is not yet back. Why will we eat that junior? How does you want us to feel? How do you want this food to be interesting? There'll be something that will make you so emotional. Be like, wow, we should learn something from eating together.
It's very
that it brings joy, it brings happiness to, because all of them will be like talking, as in that kind of thing. They'll be like gisting and be like, this is what all I have to do. As in those kind of things that the things that are supposed to learn about coming together as a family.
Well, guys, please let us know what you think about that reaction. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share our video. See you next time. Bye.